If you haven't seen Zac Efron yet, prepare to be surprised. Let's say he isn't the same skinny or lean guy we often gawked at, but he isn't the only High School Musical star turning heads. Vanessa Hudgens recently addressed fan speculation. In this video, we'll talk about his new buffed-up look and what Vanessa Hudgens said about her return to East High. Let's get into it, Wildcats! First up, Zac Efron, buffed up for his new role. The actor is getting ready for his role in his upcoming film. If you haven't seen him for a while, trust us when we say you're not prepared for it. He's playing the wrestler Kevin Von Erich in the upcoming biopic, The Iron Claw. The story follows the Von Erich family, who stormed the wrestling world across 3 generations. In his preparation, he had to look like the character he was playing. With the latest images of his physique revealed, he looks exactly like Erich, but nothing like himself. In the picture shared by the Daily Mail, the former teen star is hard to recognize. He's put on a significant amount of weight, but still has his muscles and six-pack. The Greatest Showman star rocked the bowl cut and his blue towel when stepping out of his trailer. His new transformation went viral, receiving a mixed reaction. Some said that he looked like a Hulk from the 80s and called for the superhero to be recast with Efron. Others weren't giving a negative response. They were more so worried about the significant change in his body, especially since he previously commented on how changing his body affected his health. Staying fit is important for any person, but making extreme changes can have its own set of drawbacks. Up next, people can't stop talking about his body. The pictures are alarming for another reason. Since the appearance in Baywatch looking extremely ripped, Efron has spoken up about the toll it took on his mind and body to match the body expected. Baywatch was the debut of Efron's ripped body. Since then, his body has been under scrutiny for every minor detail. It's nothing new for him because he's been in the spotlight since he was 17. For someone so young, his list of titles is surprisingly long. He's been hard at work. During the pandemic, the guy who did everything took his well-deserved time off from the public eye. But on the internet, his body was still a hot topic. In 2022, fans commented on his appearance when watching Down to Earth. Some called his body a dad bod. On the other hand, Efron was rethinking the body he'd become well known for. He decided to leave his vegan diet. According to him, his stomach didn't absorb the greens well, and it didn't suit him. He has a new diet, intermediate fasting, and a new training system, and he's finally able to sleep well. He doesn't want to overburden himself with the expectations of how his body should look and be good for him. Let's address the struggles he faced with Baywatch. Zac's work in Baywatch was so good, but his appearance was even better. He was very fit, almost too fit for his role. He stated that his training for the movie was intense, and his diet plan worsened. In an interview with Men's Health US, Efron stated that most films require changes, but the biggest change that he had to go through was for Baywatch. For the movie, he adopted an extremely strict regime. His diet only consisted of clean fish or meat, coupled with sweet potatoes. It's high in protein and fiber, and he maintained the same meal throughout the filming. It's the most extreme he's ever gone, and he was in ketosis the entire time. While he still bulks sometimes, it isn't as severe as the one he did for Baywatch. He'd rather not have that body anymore, or at least not want to put in that amount of work to achieve it. He stated that the body he had for Baywatch wasn't attainable. There's too little water in the skin, and it's fake. It legit looks like CGI. To get such a desirable body, he had to face problems with his mental and physical health. The 35-year-old admitted to taking a diuretic called Lasix to help with his look, and of course, it messed him up. This is why it's alarming that he bulked up so much for his role in The Iron Claw. Moving on, how bad did it get? In his interview, he mentioned that achieving that body required Lasix, and he doesn't want to do that. He said in the most Zac Efron way that he prefers to have an extra 2 or 3% body fat. Besides, he was overtraining and eating the same meal thrice a day. Of course, that affected his sleep too. He was so busy training to get a comfortable sleep. If the film wrapped up around midnight, Efron would be awake till 4 to train. Initially, he was excited about Baywatch. To train and work for a fun action franchise with The Rock, he liked his character, so working was fun for him, but the recovery period destroyed him. He only shared this to help others understand that getting that body may have looked nice, but the effects were insane. It was a devastating process for him. His sleep, well, it got worse. He had developed insomnia and fell into a horrible depression, and it went on for a long time. The strict routine got to him, and the experience burnt him out entirely. He couldn't recenter himself for a while. After going through it for a while, it was chalked up to him taking way too many diuretics for a long period. It messed him up badly, which must have been scary. After 6 whole months, did he start to feel like himself again? It wasn't until the Australian sabbatical that he realized that he needed to prioritize his body over his roles and reevaluate his approach to fitness. So during the pandemic, he finally had time to take a break and not be in shape. Next, he let himself go at one point. There was a good point where he let his health go. He didn't want to be in shape all the time anymore, especially since he'd been associated with fitness from a young age. He said and let himself go. While he was successful, he wasn't happy. All of the things he thought would feel good just made him feel miserable. His body didn't feel healthy, and he didn't feel alive. Now his diet and training are maintained to his style and requirements. He enjoys trying new things and ensuring his body is healthy and fit. He still pushed his boundaries by driving into ice baths and researching what suited him best. We hope his fitness regime for the Iron Claw wasn't as drastic. Now, moving on to Vanessa Hudgens. Fellow High School Musical lead star Vanessa Hudgens finally broke her silence. About what, you may ask? About her nostalgic return to East High this year. We never thought that while scrolling on Instagram, we'd see a video of her wandering around the all-too-familiar grounds of East High. It came after 14 years since her final return as Gabriela Montez, so of course it had fans going insane. The speculation started after Troy Bolton, played by Zac Efron, was at the same location just a few weeks earlier. Fans wondered if this was pointing towards a reunion or the pair was together at the site. Is there a sequel taking place? But none of that stood to be true. Vanessa shattered our hopes for a reunion, saying that her boyfriend was playing baseball in Salt Lake. So while he was on the field, she rented a car to scope out where it all started, and she clicked some pictures for old time's sake. When asked about Efron's convenient timing, she joked that she's a trendsetter. Fans weren't wrong to speculate though. It was recently confirmed that a 4th season of High School Musical, the series was bringing back some old faces. Finally, will the pair reprise their role? So, will she be returning in a cameo? She said she didn't know and had left it up to fate and the gods. It's still yet to be confirmed whether the lead pair will show up. The speculations also came about the 4th season will feature the entire original cast reunion. They've recruited some, like Corbin Bleu, Bart Johnson, Lucas Grabeel, and more. So why wouldn't the lead pair come back too? Vanessa wasn't all in, but she wasn't all out. As far as we know, the pair could surprise us with a cameo nonetheless. The season wouldn't be focused on the pair, but to recruit the cast without them feels incomplete. That's a wrap for this video. What do you think of Zac's new body? Do you think Vanessa will show up in the series? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you at the next one.